100% of Subnautica below zero started crashing on a frost planet with nothing. Slowly building my survival essentials, crafting the sea truck so I could explore with less danger. We went from a simple drop pod to a fully fortified bunker, witnessing all the madness the ocean threw at us. Eventually, helping out Alan with a storage medium, explaining to this lady that we are not from Altera, and venturing into the unknown. Can Robin save or even find her sister? Will she get closure? You'll see it all in this 100% journey through Subnautica below zero. And hey, only 6.2% of people watching my channel are subscribed. Don't forget to change that by liking and subscribing, because I drop banger content every goddamn week. Oh my god, look at the little penguins! Starting on survival modes, we step into the shoes of Robin and go on the search for our sister Samantha, who we refer to as Sam. Approaching planet 4546b, we sadly enough make a crash landing and escape from the pod that, I think no longer works. It appears meteors have been falling from the sky, and in fear we swim toward the pod, entering our base and getting into the drop pod. Drop in the ocean achievement. I go explore the beautiful ocean for resources and snatch some fish while I'm at it, so I can make foods and start working on a scanner, survival knife, and a flashlight. All the resources were extremely common, so crafting all 3 items was done in a jiffy. Before getting the flashlight though, I scanned the first fragment for the sea glider, and right after, the second one, so I kept my eyes peeled for that third and final piece. Once found, I could craft this little device, but it had a handful of required items. So I finally made that flashlight, went hunting for the resources needed for the sea glider, and when I got it set up, I was able to view a map and glide through the ocean like Aquaman himself. So I headed toward the emergency supply cache that I wanted to do like 30 minutes ago, where I found some new resources and 2 supply crates containing water and a med kit, but also a beacon blueprint I can use as a marker once crafted and placed. Although my eyes were set on the improved O2 tank and fins for 15% faster swim speed. And they're actually easier to craft than expected. The oxygen tank got my oxygen up by 30 from 45 to 75, and the fins indeed made me swim faster. I picked up a pangolin and sorry, I had to figure things out. I tried to kill one, maybe hoping to get some items. It's useless, you just make the rest mad and get yourself hurt, and honestly, I kinda deserve that. I put up one of those floating air pumps that I could maybe use later to get some oxygen along a long route. I'm never gonna use it. I found some hearts that give a ton of food and water, so those are fantastic. For the first time, I went so deep that my oxygen depleted faster, so I grabbed what I could and rushed back to the surface, but yeah, no clue what I can do with the root pustules. Anyway, I went back down, and using the oxygen plants scattered around, I got deep enough to eventually find a laser cutting tool fragment, then another piece not long after, and even found a vehicle bay fragment. This place was stacked. So yeah, I carried on, but was met with delight. And oh shit, an old research base. Finding the mineral detector tool, I found another fragment for the mobile vehicle bay, only needing 1 more. We also got intel on the Delta Station dock, 600 meters away from base. So first thing on the agenda, I glide toward that Delta Station dock and hear some weird noises from an unknown source 200 meters deep. Once there, I find nothing useful, until I step on the island and hear a pre-recorded message telling me I'm trespassing, I should get the hell out of here. But I see one big tower and I wanna go to it, so screw you, woman. A titan drops from the sky and a woman inside thinks we are with Altera and tells us to get off her land. We enter Delta Station and find a jukebox blueprint and some other great stuff we can use. Once I reach the big satellite and climb it, I realize we need a test override module port, so I'm off to that lady's last known position. On my way, I find a huge monster looking creature. Then I found a sea truck aquarium fragment, and once I went down deep, real deep, I eventually come across her little base, which rewarded me with the Another Survivor achievement. Sadly though, I couldn't explore her base, so I was back in the ocean with a new plan. Get a sea truck and head back down there to actually survive those depths. Finding the sea truck fragment took insanely long since I had no clue where to look. But then, holy shit, I found one. I need 2 more. Okay then. It's gonna take a while. So yeah, gave up on that for now, went back to base, crafted a repair tool for once I get the sea truck, put down a little waterproof locker since my main one was already full, made 2 batteries to get my glider up and running, and was back at it, searching for fragments for seriously any kind of blueprint. So, I finally got enough for the mobile vehicle bay. Cool, but I don't really need that right now. But I'm pretty sure it will be useful later. Right now, I wanted to explore this cave to find some silver. I was an unlucky man. I did not find any fucking silver. But what I did find was gold. But I need silver. Eventually, I saw these weird green pillars, so I followed them and popped into a place that wasn't filled with water. some sort of alien facility, with a voice telling me we're running out of time. So I carefully progress to the cave and they tell us we must help them with their storage medium. They say we are from a different group. I snatched 3 iron cubes and it seems we've been talking to a huge iron cube. He wants to speak more, but we first download and transfer data at the terminal. It opens up, starts transferring stuff from us and knocking us out, and now it is inside our head, thinking we're some sort of component, and then goes silent on us. We earned the xenobiology achievement, I identified the containment cube, and that's all I'm getting from this. Well, from this place. But not a minute back in the water, I find the second fragment for the sea truck. And I also find the rebreather in the data box. As I kept looking for silver, I actually got bigger wins, like a higher capacity O2 tank, but I'm still needing silver. Back at base, I had that thing signaling me. It starts yapping about how it does not think of itself as an individual, hence always saying we. Robin wants it out of her head. But the voice cannot leave without a body to transfer to. His name is Alan, or well, L-An. We call them the architects, and what is he doing here? Well, that's a long story. He needs to reach a new storage medium if we want him out of us, aka a new body. But where that is, well, we have no clue. Then the PDA calls us a loser for still not having obtained the sea truck. So I go out for a little swim, once more, to find that final sea truck fragment. And of course, silver. I really need that damn silver. I was finding everything, every last resource known to man, but silver? Yeah, forget about it. Until I found 2 pieces back to back. Had to dodge some big ass monsters, but I was taking the risks, and yeah, I was finding even more silver. Now, I might just be the luckiest man on earth that I saved my game, because 3 seconds later, my dumbass game crashed. But this place was also big for LN, because with these artifacts, he can maybe find us coordinates to another storage medium. Okay, that's it. And I already found myself 10 pieces of silver, so I went back to the base with a jolly ass smile on my face. I made a compass and got my hands on that sweet, sweet high capacity oxygen tank, going from 75 to 135. Alan, out of nowhere, found the coordinates that are important. He isn't sure what he will find there, but it matters. First though, I went out to get the cluster fine seeds and the creep fine samples to craft silicone, rubber and fiber mesh, because with that I could make the rebreather, which saves oxygen. Then I grinded a little extra to get the mobile vehicle bay, but it was of no use for now since I have no recipes, but we'll get there. So it was time to move out to those coordinates of Alan. Once again, one of those artifacts, nothing too crazy, but I find the final fragment for the laser cutter, which is huge. Now just one fragment for that damn sea truck, which, you know, would be nice. Anyway, at least I can craft the diamonds. I need diamonds? Oh boy. So I got my hands on that habitat builder. It runs on batteries as well, and since everything runs on batteries here, I quickly found some copper and stuff. But not only did I strike copper, I struck gold! The final sea truck fragment, people, holy shit! To craft it, we need some more expensive stuff than usual. I almost had enough, just missing that computer chip. But once I got the items, I constructed that sea truck at my mobile vehicle bay and unlocked the truck in achievement. With the sea truck, I went straight toward the signal, but before diving in, I constructed, well, nothing, because I died of dehydration. I thought I could build underwater, but nope, I'm retarded as shit. So I went back to the Delta Island again to construct there. I lied once more, because I lost all hope finding Delta Station. So I figured I could just build underwater. Where am I even going with this? But then this beautiful circular tube ain't got no oxygen for me. Everything needs power in here as well. Oh, Jesus Christ. So I kinda said screw this for now. Let's explore that base we found like a century ago. And wow, really? That crappy truck can only go less than 150 meters down. Otherwise, it takes stupid amount of damage. Like, whoa. So I gotta swim down anyway. Once back, I climb into her little base with that fancy mech. Get attacked by some insane alien dog. What the fuck is that? We tell her we are not from Altera. How many times do we gotta say this? She keeps saying we are, which is quite annoying. And now she wants us to deactivate the tower at the Delta Station. The junk on her table, that's the first fragment for the Snow Fox and the recipe for the test override module. I sadly couldn't get out of there. I once again had a problem with my stats. This time, it was calorie intake. Alrighty, to make that test override module, I need a parallel processing unit. Since that is once again lost media, I had to scour the ocean for fragments. Now, I finally rediscovered Delta Base. I spent way too much time trying to find it, but I did. Of course, not bring a beacon with me, because that would be smart. And if you know me by now, I am a dumbass. Now your friendly doof nugget did do his research this one time. There is no point in looking for those processing units without the laser cutter, so I somehow had to get my I did one big brain move, alright. First things first, I got my hands on one of them grab traps. Then, my dumbass finally placed the beacon over a Delta station. And now, let me show you the magic of the grab trap. Or well, first, I find some weird yellow yolk that gets stuck in my sea truck, completely soft locking me out of my sea truck. And no matter what I did, it is officially stuck. So what did I have to do? I had to go back to my last save, which was kind of a pain. Right. But all bullshit aside, the magic of the grab trap. I first made my way to the copper mining site. There, I squeezed through this little crater, avoided the lava geysers, and deployed the grab trap. This bad boy sucks up all nearby ores, including a whopping 7 diamonds! Now, sadly, my grab trap eventually lost its steam, so I snooped around a bit more with the naked eye, and that had me sailing back to base with 16 diamonds! Oh my god! But I didn't make the laser cutter just yet, as I remembered I had stored a lot of stuff in my new base, only that thing sucks because it has no electricity or oxygen. So I started relocating, basically built a new base at Delta Station, placed some blockers, and then moved all my stuff from the old base to the new one. And yes, your boy finally got power using solar panels, which luckily are very cheap. And it's a win-win because the power also gives you automatically oxygen, so woo! We can finally live in a base. So I finally constructed the jukebox for the Jukebox Hero achievement, and now I had to keep up with water, which was a pain. It is seriously the most annoying part. Since it had already damaged me significantly, it didn't take long before wildlife finished me off. But hey, doesn't matter, because I finally made that laser cutter and now have my eyes set on the parallel processing units found in shipwrecks. But slow down, brother. Alan had already informed me a couple of times about some locations, so I first went toward the Architect Artifact Q59, right underneath our base. While exploring this lava geyser filled area, I of course found all sorts of phenomenal goodies, and Alan can finally trace down a component for us. Not only did I find 2 more fragments for a prawn suit, I also found our first ruby, and as I was about to go drown, I didn't drown. I spammed X so hard that somehow, just in time, I interacted with an oxygen plant, letting me glide back to the surface right before dying. Oh, what an adventure, but also, what an amount of progress, baby. And also quickly built one of them battery chargers so I don't have to consistently make new batteries, I can just recharge my batteries. It's a win-win. So, off to the Architect body cache. It was actually I liked, because I came across one of them shipwrecks, and inside was not 1, but 2 very nice fragments your boy needed, but 2 isn't enough. We need 3 to craft that parallel thingy-majig. So, I may or may not have scrapped the whole plan and searched for the next wreck. Found it, cut my way through once more and finished the set. So, yeah, great, right? I mean, at least that's out of the way. Quickly got devoured by one of those big chungus dudes. Still going to the body cache though. Nothing distracting me now, alright? Navigating this cave at 500 meters deep might have been the biggest challenge so far. I had no clue where I was going, and there were no oxygen plants. I wanted to say they were, but they weren't here. And I thought I was done, but then my prayers were answered, and I found my way to the cache. I scanned the Architect skeleton, which got me the hydraulic acid and the polynion blueprints. Don't matter my pronunciations, alright? Alan didn't stop and already knows another place that could be of importance. Once again, I restored some important stuff he needs to remember, which is great, but what's even greater is the 4 rubies we found, because we're gonna need these sooner or later. Back at base, I made the unit and then the override module, so with that, I could head to the satellite, like we did earlier, and finally install that override module, enter test mode at the terminal, and get the pirate radio achievement. With the satellite down, we get called by Margarit, who says she's got a surprise for us, so I head to her vague greenhouse coordinates. You do not want to know how long it took me to find this fucking greenhouse, but I'm not gonna bore you with it. So inside her greenhouse, she keeps calling us Altera! Oh, lady! You're getting on my nerve right now. But what's funny is that she was surprised by the history of her sister. She found her quite original, unique, cool even, which is pretty cool for her to say. But what was even cooler is that I was robbing and devouring her entire greenhouse. Screw this place, it's time to go back to base. And once I stored my items, I wanted to go to one of them alien distress calls for our beloved Alan, but since I once again couldn't figure out how to reach it, I instead stumbled onto another artifact that gave me some very useful info. With Alan once again brainstorming, hard to find a location for his storage medium, I skipped that distress call for now. I went to get the fragments for the spy penguin, since, well, we'll need it for an achievement and future assignments. Now, what's great about this island? The island's called the Glacial Basin. Well, there's no heat plants, so that's actually not that great, and it's very risky without the cold suit. But I still made it to the Phi Robotics, and the place where Sam works. Okay, that's cool. I don't really care though, because we found the Snow Fox hoverpad fragment, my first vein of magnetite ore. We'll definitely need that later. And another Snow Fox fragment, and of course, the spy pangling along with the Glacial Basin map. Looks like the spy pangling and its remote are easy to craft, which is a relief. But before leaving the islands, I scouted the entire place. And so I finally found that last Snow Fox fragment, and lucky me, we need magnetite ore to actually make it. Oh my god, yes, this is good. And I also found a broken hydraulic fluid fragment at this busted bridge that we'll eventually have to repair. Back at base, I made some good damn progress. I finally constructed that spy pangling, getting me the spy pangling achievement, and as I also made the remote, I went back to the Glacial Basin to do two things. Get the cold suit fragments and use the spy pangling on those snow stalkers to collect 4 pieces of fur. Once I did that, I headed back home, got a little sidetracked, but for good reason, because yes, my friend, I found 4 gel sacks, meaning that bridge will be no problem. But first, of course, we're not repairing the bridge yet. I first craft the entire cold suit, getting the dress for the weather achievement, and with Alan telling me earlier that he found another location for us, we're moving again. But first, I crafted hydraulic fluid, bring the required item for the Snow Fox and the Snow Fox hoverpad, and make my way to the Glacial Basin. Before going on the island though, I traverse underneath the island to come out at a specific spot where I can deploy my spy pangling, send it through a gap, cross a bridge and get ourselves the antidote. Then, I construct the Snow Fox for the like riding a bike achievement and use it to explore a good amount of the Glacial Basin. And then I find a cave with a door. Not much inside there, but further down I find... well, help me out here, I have no clue what I found. Making my way up this elevator, and that's convenient, I can place the antidote right here. Once we do that, the card moves toward the green pustule, drills inside of it, and gets me the Finding the Cure achievement, meaning this Leviathan virus can no longer spread. And Robin is extremely happy about that, as she finally got closure, finally helping Sam finish something she couldn't. Sobs a little extra because she got real emotional about this, and then I don't give a shit, because we're off toward Alan's new artifact location, which is on land this time, and once again helps him dig deeper into getting himself that new storage medium body thingamajig. After emptying my inventory back at base, I go back to that bridge, patch it up, get the necessary repairs achievement. Extending the bridge gives Alan another signal, one where we must be careful, because he senses a creature tunneling underneath the ice. And yeah, when I continue from the bridge, there is a huge Leviathan just skipping through the ice, so boy, I gotta stay sharp. But I find the artifact, one that will assist Alan. And then the Leviathan casually just pops in and says hi. Oh, hello there, little Leviathan. Now, I gotta be honest with you. Ooh, some people might not like to hear this, but the storyline is kind of whack. All we've been doing is going from A to B to C to D to E, F, G. Scanning artifacts for my boy Alan. Just to recover his dementia or something. I don't know, I expected more or something. It's kind of just... Oh yeah, and I'm a stupid guy, so I had to go back to a place where we were just at, since I needed an architect's component from there for the out of mine achievement. So I traversed that entire goddamn island, found it, died of hunger, but hey, whoop-de-doo. We're still not done though. What do you think? I luckily got the skeleton body piece last time, but I still needed to go to the architect artifact N6M, a nice little 1400 meters away. That was a great ocean trip, but I had to go to Margarit's base. From there, travel even further down to the crystal caves. This part was the scariest so far. Not because of the shadow leviathans, oh no, but because I only had a basic oxygen tank and had no fully upgraded sea truck for this 800 meter dive. But, big chungus but, I made it. Took a breather in the artifact area, and once again, got past all the crystals, scanned the final architect components, and with that, we can now build a storage medium. The next part, I basically pulled off the impossible. So let me explain. Normally, you need the sea truck upgrade to 1000 meters. Mine was at 150, aka completely useless. I skipped all those upgrades, because they would take 2 centuries. And what I'm trying to do here is upload a fucking video every week, so I don't have time for that. So, I memorized the exact route and did a near-perfect glide with the sea glider. Of course, I had to pray that shadow leviathan just wouldn't eat me up. But somehow, I actually made it inside just before drowning. I cannot express how proud I was of myself. Congratulations, it's a celebration. But there's no time for pride. It's time to help Alan build his new body. Woohoo! There goes my celebration. Turns out I needed specific components, and yes, it may shock you, I had no clue that they were there, leading to me crying into my pillow for a consecutive, I wouldn't say, like a good 35-45 minutes just drowning myself in my own bloody, watery, sobby ice. So now I had to start working on these 3 dumbass requests. This genuinely fucking sucked. It just wasn't necessary. I mean, that dumbass Alan could have told me beforehand, but no. Just a nice little surprise, motherfucker, right after I pulled off the impossible. I swear, once he gets his body, I'll blow it right up again. What a piece of shit. Getting the required resources just felt like the game messing with me at this point. And yeah, I don't want to be Mr. Grumpy Pants, but man, I was getting sick of the whole go here, go there. I mean, why am I even doing all this? To get out the planet? Yeah, probably, but the story is just so bland. I swear to God, Postal 3 made more sense.
Would you like to sign my petition?
No way, you freaking...
Anyway, I got the required items, and before you complain about me not having enough kyanite ingots, I had to go back to the same place to find them. Would have been nice to do it in one go instead of 2, but it's fine. I also had to perfectly maneuver through everything again, because that sea truck upgrade didn't just magically appear. That would take way too much time to also go for that, so... I finally wrapped my head around it all and found all those last two crystal thingy-majigs, and okay, the time has finally come. I built his architect skeleton, then his architect tissues, and last, but definitely not least, the architect organs. Soon, he shall be autonomous again. He wants to explain what he's been planning to do, but first he needs to collect his thoughts. Though, his body construction isn't done yet, because now we commence storage medium fabrication, combining all 3 parts. He accidentally spread the bacteria. Doesn't want to talk about it anymore. We initiate another one of those transfers, once again collapsing to the ground, and just like that, Alan has his brand new body. He picks us up. We want closure on his story. He admits it. He is the reason the bacteria escaped. We want to help him find a cure. I don't know why, because he's literally the reason that the... This makes no sense. We get the out of mine achievement at least. That's great. And now I quickly let myself get devoured by the Leviathan to respawn faster, travel 1600 meters toward the Phase Gate facility where we meet Alan once more. He's planning on leaving. He has much to do. He built a teleporter, but once you enter, there is no return. Looks like he's going. And Robin, she has every right to stay on this planet. Go back to Delta Station. Maybe cruise around in that slow-ass sea truck that doesn't even go further than 150 meters. I think we'll all fucking pass. I think we'll all pass. We're entering that portal, baby, and the Phase Gate begins to open. I don't even know what that thing is, but it looks like we're helping Alan with some new robot arms. Yeah, and we do help him out by placing down these 2 pillars with some struggle. The ship can now be reconstructed. No time to lose. We watch him rise with this insane pillar aura. Look at him farming that shit. Forming the ship. He welcomes us aboard in a pretty harsh way. To fly this thing, Alan is temporarily stuck to the machine. But Robin is happy. She got to finish what she set out to do. And now, prepares herself to launch into the unknown, granting us the Platinum Trophy, baby. That credit sequence right here, I skipped the shit out of it. Because those are funny little penguins. And this is not the greatest for 100%. No, I never really finished a video like this before. But what started off as a journey I was actually hyped for ended up, I don't know, just bland and simple. I've heard most people say that Subnautica Below Zero is below average and just was worse than the original. And, well, I wouldn't be able to see it because I haven't played the original. So hey, if you somehow like this video, drop down a comment and try to convince me to play the original. Because this game, it didn't do it for me at all. And it would be genuinely impressive if you can convince me to play the original Subnautica. Because I enjoyed the gameplay, it's just, I didn't feel it, you know? Anyway, I appreciate you more than you could ever imagine for sticking around till the end. Thank you for coming along on this journey with me. And I hope to see you in the next video.